So once a legendary YouTuber called Wazir Habib had said, "Shine se Rizwan se Babar, Babar se Nazim, Nazim se Shine." Blah, blah, blah. That's exactly how I felt while watching this thoroughly entertaining film. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then you need to subscribe to the channel now. And as a video ritual, you know what to do. Like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today, the film that I'm going to be talking about is the third Vishu release, or should I say, this is the Tamil film that is there called Good, Bad, and Ugly, which is starring Ajith Kumar, or I would like to call him Thala Ajith. I know the Thala title has been removed from his, or he's asked to remove it from his name, but I would still like to call him Thala Ajith. And it is directed by Adhik Ravichandran, and it has to be one of the most craziest film watching experiences that I have had this year. Now, I have come to a deduction coming to the story and screenplay that not all films need to be analyzed, and sometimes you just need to take a break and, take a back seat and just enjoy the events that are, coming your way. In that sense, I would say that this film, Good, Bad, Ugly, is, if it was a cricketer, I would compare it to MS Dhoni, because every time even he walks in, even if his team is losing, there's a host of crowd that is cheering and lapping him up, and that is the fan power that you feel, towards the cricketer. Similarly, for Ajith Kumar, I would say this film is of the fans, by the fans, and for the fans. And if you're not an Ajith Kumar fan, just keep out of this film because you're not going to enjoy this film. I would say that one of the reasons why this film weirdly also works is because it doesn't wish to, get into any character arcs or, character analysis or emotional arcs. Nothing. It is pure fan service. It's an acid trip for the ages, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. If I have to just talk little about the story, it's absolutely, there is a non-existential plot here. It features the protagonist, which is also named AK, by the way. AK is Ajith Kumar. Why would you even think of naming him anything else in his own film? So AK here essentially is a notorious gangster, but with a good heart. He has good morals, which is why he surrenders and goes to the prison to protect his family. Once he's out after 17 years legally, on good behavior, you would say, his son is, framed in a crime that he supposedly did not commit. And so the entire film is about AK having to protect his family by bailing his son out from jail and, forming a face-off with multiple enemies, treading away even as a new threat emerges in his life, you would say. I think that's a one-liner plot. Nothing major if you have to talk from a storyline point of view, but what this film does well is that it is almost like a real induced fan service. It's almost like watching a YouTube video. Like you're watching my video, you're going to see more suggestions of my video, which is why you need to like and subscribe and comment to the channel. You understand that? So anyway, coming back to the video, on this was on a lighter note, but coming back to the video, it is almost like watching a YouTube video. So the YouTube algorithm would actually kick in and serve you and feed in more of the star power of Ajith Kumar in this case, which is exactly what it happens. It's loosely connected from one scene to another, sometimes even not connected. It's almost like watching a reel, finding a reference of a film every 2 minutes and then going on to the next reel. It's almost designed in a way that your attention span is not more than 2 minutes. Every 5 seconds, either the POV is changing or the drama is shepherding ahead. It's almost chaotic in a way, as I said, Shine se Rizwan se Babar, Babar se Naseem se Haris. It's crazy that way, it's absolutely crazy. I had a blast while watching it. It's such a liberating feeling when you don't need to sit and analyze a film, because otherwise your full mind, you're totally concentrated. Here you're sitting back and enjoying with the crowd, and it was absolutely a wonderful joyride. Now, one thing also, when it comes to the film references, there were quite a few that I picked as well. One was Wali, one was, which one was that? One was Nankatha, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Anyway, so there were a few film references that I did pick, and those were interesting as well. And one was Billa. Yes, I forgot Billa. One was Billa. So Billa also I did pick, and there were a few others as well. I'm sure many of y'all would have picked more than me. So do let me know in the comments as well. I could pick 2 or 3 definitely. One was Valimai also. And one was Nankatha, if it was. What is the Venkat Prabhu film? I forgot. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it was kind of these references that are served every now and then that actually make it like a proper nostalgic trip. Even some of the other characters that are there also have a similar kind of fate. Like the character of Trisha also has, some references to Gilly, or even Prasanna has a reference to one of his earlier films. So these made for nice, nostalgic ride also for hardcore fans. I may not have watched some of his films which I have also referenced, but you are there in the reel structure that is there. Varedam also another film. The reel structure is such that you get the reference of a film without even watching it, and that's what some of the films that I have watched on could cater to. Come the second half, the film goes completely into a brain rot zone. But the good news is that the makers do understand what they are going for. They know exactly what the film is designed to do, and it definitely does that. It almost has a reference of John Wick. It has a reference of the professor from Money Heist. Even Don Lee of all people, the Korean actor is said to be a gangster that AK is closely working with. You don't know who AK is, but these people that he's working with, and that makes for a complete blast of a film. Even the face-offs with the protagonist, by the way, Arjun Das, amazing. So he did a wonderful job as well. So I'll come to the performances later, but these, all of these references coupled with the face-offs that are there prevented the film from going into an exhaustion zone, which it could have. It partly did for me in the second half. If I have to be a little critical of the film, it partly did get into that exhaustion zone, even as a fan service, because it actually, did not really want to focus on the story or the characters or any of that. And so that was a little criticism, but otherwise, the screenplay was an absolute riot. I still will say it's a niche. If you're not a fan of Ajith Kumar, don't bother watching this film. You're going to get lost in this maze, so don't try to, get into this film. This is not a starter pack of Ajith Kumar films. No, it's in fact an end pack. You need to watch his films to understand this film. So coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I felt the dialogues here are very massy and they cater to that fan service vessel very well. And there are references to his films, as I said, through his lines also, and I think that also adds to the nostalgic factor. Even I would say the music and the BGM really flare up the drama, add that energy. The music also is nostalgic because I think some of the earlier films that were released, like Vikram or some of the other films that were there, the 1986 Vikram is what I'm talking about, they have these song references that are integrated in the plot and they enhance the viewing experience as well. Likewise, the BGM also caters to the fan service of the superstar that Ajith Kumar is, and there's the swag and entry that he fully justifies through the background music. It automatically elevates the drama, and you get the feeling of watching a mass masala entertainer without having to bother about the elements of emotions or any of that, and that requires skill as well. Coming to the cinematography, I think the frames are also important in a way that they hold the narrative together to an extent. They run riot. Even bizarrely, the VFX that are so bizarre, they are so well cut. The editing is so fast, I would say, that they do not allow you to think and comprehend. They do not allow you to think and analyze what it is. It just goes from one reel to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. It's absolutely right, I would say. So that's what the film does here. Coming to the direction, I think he directed Mark Anthony, which I really like that film of his. And I think this was a proper fan service. Only a fan, a die-hard hardcore fan of Ajith Kumar could have directed this film, because it requires skills. I knew what he was going for. He wasn't necessarily even trying for any emotions or character arc, none of that. It was plain fan service from first to last. And so everyone needed to buy into this idea, for everyone to come together and put this project together. And I think that was the victory of the director for me. The director did a wonderful job here. Coming to the performances, I think it's such a liberating feeling for me. You can see how liberated I am, even while I'm conversing, that I don't need to analyze or, think of any performance based on the character arcs that are there. It's just based on how much fun everyone's having, and everyone had a blast, right from Raghuram that I witnessed on screen, to Trisha, to Karthikeya, to Priya. Everyone bought into this idea wonderfully well, and it came out so beautifully in this film. That was absolutely a riot. Arjun Das, special mention. I think Arjun Das was a vibe in the film, and he was such a vibe. He did an amazing job in that dual role of Johnny and Jamie. Two roles, solid impact, in both the roles. Some of the other characters also, like Sunil, even Yogi Babu, I forgot Yogi Babu. Yogi Babu also, his character's name was Babu Yogi. So that automatically was funny. Even the character Simran, she had an absolute blast in the film. The small cameo that she had, it was a recall that was there, to her earlier film also. Likewise, it was for Trisha. All of them, had a blast. But special mention, Ajith Kumar, the smiling assassin, did not really, it was just going out and having fun. It was like an extended paid weekend, and I think he did a smashing job, to relive some of his earlier characters and to play to the swagger. It was drastically different from his earlier film, Vidya Murchi, that was a Vidya Miyachi, I think, yeah. So that was a different film. This is a totally different film, and I think he did a wonderful, wonderful job as well. So overall, I felt that Good, Bad and Ugly was an absolute acid trip for fans. It's good for hardcore fans like of Thala Ajit. It's bad for normal film goers who aren't fans of Ajith Kumar, because you won't like the film. Remember, if you're not a fan, you won't like it. And ugly for cinephiles who have a problem with the brain rot genre, I would say. That's all I can add up to. So you should know which category of cinema goer you are. Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Are you a cinephile? And accordingly go in and watch this film and enjoy, or totally avoid it altogether. That was it, guys. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. So for me, it was a super hit. I really loved it. I fall in the first category of films, so I actually enjoyed it, and it made for a thoroughly entertaining watch for me. But for you, let me know, what did you make of the film if you watched it. If you watched it, let me know in the comments on what did you make of it. If you're liking this video, remember to smash that like button, and you can share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. You can read my detailed, crazy, bonkers review of Good, Bad, Ugly on my website, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. You can check that out, and you can read it in your language as well. That's an option that we provide on our website. You can translate it into the language of your choice. You can also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site and on my social media handles. You may want to follow me there as well. I'll see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.